Thank you, everybody, for your patience. I'll start from the beginning. Okay, so I trust the majority of people here would have heard the sales presentation that was made a week or so ago, which outlined what NetConnect is, the benefits of selling NetConnect, and the benefits to your customers with the current climate we have happening at the moment. The purpose of this call is to give everybody an overview of how you can install NetConnect into a customer's environment, the basic steps you need to take to ensure it's secure, to ensure people can access it and people can use it in an efficient manner. Now, the content from this presentation is drawn down from our training content. So essentially, this is the highlights, and with all the optional bits stripped away, the following steps will allow you to have a NetConnect instance installed and running on your customer premises. If there are additional features or additional things that need to happen beyond what's mentioned here, then I'll direct you all to the training material, which I'll show in a few moments. But just in case anybody hasn't had the chance, you can visit our demo site, which is netconnectdemo.com, which you'll see up on the screen now. Those credentials are pre-filled, so you'll be able to access that demo site. You'll see the applications. You'll be able to get an idea of how NetConnect feels to the end users. So let's take a quick look at how we actually get the NetConnect server set up. So as I said a moment ago, the training can be found at northbridgesecure.com/training. There you'll have some YouTube videos. You'll have some documentation that will show you how to install NetConnect. You can follow that during your installations. You can refer to that anytime if you have any questions or if you need to clarify any points. And of course, you can contact myself or Sam for support during the installs. Now, the prerequisites to have NetConnect installed, we strongly recommend you have a virtual environment. NetConnect can install onto a physical machine if required, but the virtual environments offer a lot more flexibility, particularly when it comes to upgrades, testing, rollbacks, and things of that nature. So we strongly recommend it's installed on Hyper-V or VMware. You'll need to have one CPU, 2 gigs of RAM, and 40 gigs of hard drive space per 50 users. You'll need to have one internal IP address and one external public IP address so that people can access your NetConnect instance externally. Port 443 will need to be available and open to external traffic. You'll need to nominate a subdomain with an appropriate DNS, so it'd be connect.yourcompany.com or access.yourcompany.com, something of this nature. Strongly recommend you integrate with an Active Directory. Those other options are available if required, and you'll need internet access to your NetConnect box. So typically, NetConnect will sit just behind your public firewall, and it'll have network access through to your internal network, particularly the particular areas that you need to publish through NetConnect. Generally speaking, we'll be looking at the Active Directory server and the app server in the middle there. With user desktops, obviously a very common feature in today's world. There are some other features there that we won't be touching on today, but we can provide more information as required. So step one is the installation. So as I said a moment ago, it's typically installed onto common hypervisors, including VMware and Hyper-V. It's the preferred deployment method for NetConnect. So to begin your installation, you'll need to download a pre-configured image. It could be even an OVA or VHD, depending on the platform that you decide to use. So NetConnect itself runs on a CentOS 6.10 server that's been pre-built with NetConnect loaded on and pre-configured to a certain degree, so that when you get that image, you'll then need to put in your particular network details and then link it into your network. Again, from there, you'll need to set your static and internal IP address via the guided script, and you can access your NetConnect server from a browser once those things are done. So if you visit northbridgesecure.com/software/NetConnect, you'll see there you'll have several options. You have VMware, Hyper-V, AWS option, Azure. There are some manual install guides there as well as at the very end, upgrade files. So we make upgrades available on a regular basis to address any bug security issues that may have been flagged up, and to obviously put new features on there that people have asked for. You'll also find on this page that there's a link to our trial website where you can generate a 10-user license, which is valid for 1 month. So if you are installing it into your environment to do some testing, you're welcome to pull down a trial license in order to support that testing. Once you've downloaded your image, it's simply a case of following the standard install steps on your virtual machine. And once the image has been deployed, you connect through the console onto your NetConnect server, and there you'll be prompted to put some basic information in. It'll be the internal IP address you've set, some networking information relevant to your company. You'll be asked to confirm that that's all present and correct, and once you've done that, your NetConnect box will reboot. Once that reboot's complete, you'll actually be able to access your NetConnect server from the internal IP address that you've nominated, provided you don't have any IP conflicts or anything of that nature. Now, when you log on using the default credentials, you'll be presented with the following screen. This is your web top. So all users who log into NetConnect will be presented with this. Only people who've been nominated as administrators will have access to the admin panel. And this is where users will see all the applications that they've had assigned to them, similar to what you'll see when you go to the NetConnect demo site. So if you click on that admin portal access, you'll see the standard admin portal. This is where the majority of the work is done in administering NetConnect. This is where you link to your Active Directory, you can apply licenses, you can check reports, monitor the servers, you can create and manage applications. Again, 90% of the application configuration is done from this panel here. So now you've got your NetConnect server installed, you'll need to license the server, and you'll need to put a certificate on there to ensure that the connections are secure. So I'll just go back a couple of steps just to show you. Up here, you'll see in the top left, at this stage, your NetConnect server is not secure. That's because an SSL certificate has not been added. So we'll cover that off in a moment. So once you've got your NetConnect license, which you can get from that trial website, as I said a moment ago, alternatively, you can email through to the customer support team and they can send you a license. The only information you need to have is the MAC address. So you'll see that under the MAC address, under the Ether0 interface just here. That is the information you need to provide to Northbridge Secure. We will then send you a license key. And to get that MAC address, you navigate to System Configuration, Network General, and that's where you'll see the Network General information. Once you've got the license key from Northbridge, you'll navigate through to System Configuration, Licensing, and it's a case of simply pasting that license key into the dialog box and submitting that. That will license your server. Now, the next thing we'll need to talk about is certificates. As I mentioned a moment ago, every NetConnect server, it's strongly recommended that a secure certificate is put in place in order to encrypt the traffic that goes in and out of the site. Now, you can either have a third-party SSL certificate. There's a lot of providers out there. The price of those certificates ranges from a few dollars to a few $1,000s, depending on obviously the security requirements of your customer. You can use a wildcard certificate. So if your customer has a wildcard certificate for their domain, then you can use that for your nominated subdomain. Or you can use the built-in Let's Encrypt certificate. Now that's a new feature we've put in the last few months, and I'll talk to you in a moment about how you can utilize that. It's pretty cool. Essentially means you've got a nice secure server. It's all packed into the NetConnect image that you'll download from the website, and there'll be no need to purchase any third-party certificates. So that's a big bonus, particularly for the smaller customers. So if you'd like to get a certificate from a third-party certificate provider, you'll simply need to create a CSR, so it's a certificate sign-in request. Anyone familiar with certificates will be familiar with that term. You essentially generate the CSR within NetConnect. So you put in the country, state, locality, all the information required there. That'll give you a specific key that you take to your third-party provider. They'll give you the certificate. Once you've got that back from the certificate provider, it'll be a case of navigating to System Configuration, General, SSL, search from CA, and pasting that into the certificate content box there. Once you submit that, your server will then be secured. Now, alternatively, you can use our Let's Encrypt module. Now, this will take a couple more steps, but it means you'll be able to get it up and going almost instantly. You essentially need to create an SSH application on your NetConnect box, and we'll follow through that in a few moments. From there, you follow the instructions that you'll find on our knowledge base, the links down there, and we can send it across to you guys following this meeting if anybody would like to have that on record. From there, you'll be able to generate your Let's Encrypt certificate. Now, once you've applied a certificate to your NetConnect instance, you'll notice that your connection will then be secure, and you'll be free to move on to the next stage of your configuration. So just to recap, we've installed NetConnect, we've applied a license, and we've secured the server. The next stage will be to link it to your Active Directory. So Active Directory, as I said previously, and I believe on the previous call, it's not mandatory, but it's strongly recommended for a number of reasons. First and foremost is the user experience is a lot stronger. If they have an Active Directory, it means they can use their standard domain credentials to access NetConnect, and it means they'll have single sign-on back to their laptop or their application or the things that you've published through to the users. So to link to your Active Directory, you'll need to do two things. You'll need to create a vRealm, and then you'll need to bind that realm to your Active Directory stage. So you'll see the term vRealms used in NetConnect. It can seem a little bit daunting, but essentially a vRealm is just an authentication method. So I've got a little bit of information here that I'll just read out verbatim. The vRealm is a container for a single or set of multiple authentication methods used to confirm a user's identity. Generally, a vRealm consists of a link to the customer's Active Directory to allow them to access NetConnect with their user domain credentials and have SSO single sign-on to their applications. Additional steps can be added, such as one-time passwords for MFA capabilities. So you may need to have several vRealms depending on your specific use case. You may have some people who can access NetConnect directly with the domain credentials. You may wish other people to access with their domain credentials and a second form of authentication, some form of MFA, which we'll touch on a little bit later. That's entirely customizable to your customer needs. So to integrate with your Active Directory, you need to have access to the Active Directory instance reachable via NetConnect, so it will need to be on the same network as your NetConnect instance. You need to have an Active Directory account, so a username and password that you can use to bind to NetConnect. Now, we recommend we actually set up a specific account for that. The reason for that is if the password changes, you'll need to update your NetConnect box with that updated password. So if you use an actual, your personal account or the IT manager's account, every time they update their password, that will need to be changed in NetConnect. So we recommend you use a specific account, create an account called NetConnect Access, for example, in order to bind. You'll need to get the bind DN string for that account, which we'll talk about in a moment. And you'll need an account within Active Directory that you can actually test to make sure the logon process is working. So the bind DN, not too many people are familiar with this. It's not something you come across on a daily basis, but it's essentially a string of information linked to a specific account on Active Directory. And we have instructions in the training on how to locate that. But essentially, it's within the Active Directory. It's in the permissions of the user who you set up in the attribute editor. And it's just a case of highlighting that distinguished name field or value and putting that into your clipboard. So once you've got that information, back onto the admin portal, you navigate through to authentication settings, vRealm management, and then you click on add vRealm. You then populate that particular vRealm with the information that's relevant to your customer. So you'll put in the domain, you'll need to put in the IP address of the Active Directory server. You'll need to paste in, if you look midway down there, that bind DN string, just a copy paste in there along with that account credentials. And the majority of these are default values within NetConnect. So once you've done that, you'll now have a NetConnect instance that can authenticate users via your Active Directory. Again, nice, safe, secure way of giving people access through to NetConnect. So you've now got a licensed, safe, an accessible NetConnect instance. The final thing we'll need to do is create an application. So there are many ways you can create applications. As we're focused on with the last discussion, we'll focus on giving users access to their desktop. That seems to be one of the most common features we've seen over the last few months with the COVID-19 crisis has been unfolding. Now, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about a feature within NetConnect called My Desktop. Now, you can imagine if you have a customer with 5, 6, 7 users, creating 5, 6, 7 applications isn't so much of an issue. If you've got a customer with 50 users, 100 users, 200 users, and they all need to access their desktops, the last thing you want to do is have to create all those individual applications. So we have something called My Desktop that allows a one-to-many relationship between the users and their desktops. So to create an application, you'll need to ensure your desktop's set up for RDP. Just worth pointing out that Windows Home Edition machines can't be connected to through RDP. So it will need to be Windows Professional, which the majority of businesses are running. You need to create the new application, and you can also put in some specific features there, whether you want to allow people to copy and paste in and out, access files in and out, or to print. So how do you create an application? Well, once again, we jump back onto the admin portal. You navigate to Applications, Configuration, and Create New Application. Once you click on that link, you'll be taken to the standard application page. Now from here, you'll notice we've got the My Desktop icon selected. That's not selected by default. If you don't have that selected, you'd need to put in the IP address of the server or PC you're publishing and a couple of other fields. But for this particular instance, we'll just put in our My Desktop field. Now for My Desktop to work, there needs to be a link between the user account and the PC they're connecting to. Again, we'll talk about this a bit more in the training, and we can provide some further documentation and support if this is a feature you'd like to set up. But essentially, if you have a user on your Active Directory, you utilize a specific field within the Active Directory to nominate or to link that user account to a specific host name, to a specific PC. And then when NetConnect connects the application a user's launched, it'll reference that field and take the user to that specific PC to sign on with. So you can see the power there of being able to control which PC users have access to from your Active Directory. It's a nice, easy, low-touch way of deploying multiple remote desktops to a large amount of customers. Now, what I'm not going to show you right now, but just down the bottom there, you'll see there's an advanced properties. If you scroll down on this page, that's where you'll be able to set various things, single sign-on, NLA, printing, copy paste, file transfer, all the things that you may or may not want to give the users access to, depending on the use case you have there. Once you've created that application, you need to assign that to your users. So you've got 3 options there. You can assign it to a specific user. You can assign it to a group within the Active Directory. So remember, we've bound NetConnect to your Active Directory, so it has access to those groups. So that makes life a lot easier if you're trying to roll this out to a select amount of people. Or you can make that available to the entire realm. So everyone who logs into that vRealm you've created will see that application if you assign it to that realm. And there's also a note there you need to configure password forwarding, so that users, when they sign on to NetConnect, as soon as they launch an application, there'll be no reason to re-enter those same credentials again. Those passwords and username and passwords will be forwarded through to the application. So as we spoke about a moment ago, another cool feature of NetConnect is we've recently integrated Google Authenticator into NetConnect. So that's a free MFA solution, and it really helps sell the product to your customers. And you can position it as a nice, safe, secure product that comes with inbuilt MFA. So if you've got customers who maybe haven't used work from home remotely previously, haven't maybe exposed their systems externally previously, then this is a great way to show them that things can be nice and secure with NetConnect. There's a couple of extra steps for the users, but what it means is your servers are nice and secure behind NetConnect and Google's MFA solution. So again, similar to the Let's Encrypt, the way this has been integrated, you'll need to access the control panel through the SSH application, and you'll be guided through on how to do that using that knowledge base link that you saw previously in the piece. Now, the final thing we'll briefly talk about are some of the standard admin tasks that you can do with NetConnect. The common things you'd expect to be able to do. So taking a configuration backup. So if you need to, for whatever reason, take a backup of your NetConnect server, obviously there's a downloadable file that can be downloaded off the server and stored safely. If you need to rebuild your NetConnect server for any reason, if you need to relocate your NetConnect server, that's a really cool and easy way to carry all those configuration items across. Software updates are released on a regular basis. I'd say on average we probably have between 10 and 12 updates a year. As you use NetConnect, then we strongly encourage you to reach out to us if you'd like anything changed, if you'd like any additional features. We have a pretty intimate relationship with our customers and with our partners, and we're always very keen to put new features and new things in there that people are asking for, tweaks. And once in a while, there will be a bug. So yeah, we like to make sure we address those nice and quickly for you. NetConnect also has a monitor and reporting feature that allows you to know who's logged in at any time. It allows you to have a historical record of who logged in, which IP address they logged in, what time they logged in, what time they logged out, what applications they launched, and a bunch of other things that are useful for companies for various reasons. And obviously you have some shutdown restart mechanisms in there as well. Okay, so just to conclude, so we've run you through the process of downloading the image. We've shown you how to install NetConnect. We've shown you how to license and put a secure certificate onto NetConnect. We've shown you how to bind your Active Directory to your NetConnect, and we've shown you how to create and publish an application. So I appreciate if you've never seen NetConnect before, that's maybe quite a bit to take in, but you can see from just those few slides just how quick it can be to deploy NetConnect, and you can walk away knowing your users have got an excellent user experience and it's nice, safe and secure. Ticks all the boxes from that perspective. If there are any questions, then please I encourage you to raise them now, and we'll do our best to answer those.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, James. Hi guys, any questions you have? So I don't see any questions in chat also.
That's good. It must have been very, very clear and easy to understand.
Yes. So if you have any questions, you can write to us. I hope everyone have my mail ID, and if you are interested to do any testing in your organization, in your premises on NetConnect, please reach to us. So we also provide the trial version.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Pratibha. Yeah, just to echo that, we're here to assist and help out as and when you need it. If you need to use NetConnect in a way that wasn't explained here, then please let us know. There are many different ways that NetConnect can be deployed and many features that can be used to meet use cases. If we were to go through all those, then we'd probably be here for the rest of the night. But yeah, needless to say, if there's something you need NetConnect to do that wasn't covered off here, let us know, and there's a pretty good chance we'll be able to help you out.
Sure, definitely, James. Hi guys, thank you everyone for attending the webinar. Hope it was useful to you. Any help you need, please reach out to us. We are there to help you out in any ways. And in future, if you think like you require any more demos, please reach out to us. And once again, I would like to thank Mr. James and Samson for your Sam for your valuable time.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Pratibha. Thank you, Josh.
Thanks, Pratibha. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, Sam, James, and all attendees.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Good day, guys.